Hello, I am Brianna. Welcome to my life on paper, where paper and pictures tell my story. Today I'm playing along with two things. The first one being Woodgrain and Winter with MK and Janet. I will have everybody's listed below as well as the playlist. And then the other thing is Mixed Media Mayhem. Today for Mixed Media Mayhem, instead of having a recipe, we have a scrap lift of Scrappy Kathy, and I just love this with all the bright colors. I did not go with all the bright colors, but I do take inspiration from Kathy's layout. So I just got this stencil from Hip Kit Club. It was a Black Friday sale. Super excited to use it. It's kind of like a snowflake. So I've got the brown that's gonna match my colors. Now I have a photo of from last, it was in between Christmas and New Year's. Um, it was when we were in Chicago, and it's a warm drink. So I'm documenting that. So, and I have all these brown colors. I'm also going to bring in some red, and I'm just going to kind of randomly do this stenciling in the background. I have, you can see it's a tray with cookies and hot chocolate on it, as well as the two gingerbread cookies, and then a candy cane. Looks like a candy cane cookie. And so those are where I took the color inspiration from, and I'm going to get those on this layout. So first I randomly go along the left side, and then I'm going to go along the right side. Kathy does such a good job with all her bright colors, and I just love it. And I'm a bright color person. I also like monochromatic, and this is kind of going that way where you could think of the brown as a neutral color and then the red as the one color that I'm using. Let's see. The Distress Oxide I'm using is a Vintage Photo, and I just got this brush on Amazon. I have kind of them coordinated with my inks. I don't have a brush for every ink, but I do have a brush for every what would you say, color of the rainbow? Like, I use one green handled brush for all of my green inks, and then like just one brown handled brush for all of my brown inks. With the Woodgrain and Winter series, we can do anything winter related, doesn't have to be Christmas, and then use some wood grain. So on the right hand side, you can see that I've pulled out just scraps from my stash that is wood grain, and I'm going to be using several of them. When I first thought about using this photo for this layout, I did think about trimming it down, the photo down further so it goes right above the top of the rim of the glass. But I do like the kind of the Christmas lights in the background. So my piece of paper that I'm using right there was a quarter of an inch too short. So I just took a quarter of an inch off the photo so that it frames it out nicely. And then the rest of them won't cover the whole back of the photo. Now that stamp set I have on the left side, I think I've actually seen Scrappy Kathy use. It is Studio Light, art by Marlene, and it is very fun for mixed media. Um, Here is a dark, and some of these are just from paper pads, so I've got a kind of a black wood grain to go on there. One is a medium brown, and then there's one over there that's like almost like a barnwood. And so in the past, I like would never trim down just with my scissors, and I know I talk great things about this Tim Holtz serrated scissors, but I just love it. So I have no fears about just trimming down any pieces of paper with my scissors. I don't mind it. I enjoy it. I'm not super worried about if it's super straight or anything like that. And there's that pretty barnwood to go behind. So once I trim that down some more, then I will get my ink out to do some of that stamping in the background. And I did think about using black like Kathy did, but um I was going kind of with the monochrome, and I just didn't want the harsh black with the brown. So I did decide to use red, and I have Catherine Pooler Flame, and so that's the red I'm using. I'm just going to try it out on the paper to see how I like it compared to the red of the candy cane there, of the ribbon. And then I just ink up some of these um stamps. And this is, I believe it's the first time I've used this stamp set. I do season it just by kind of rubbing it against the oils on my skin. Here's a close to my heart gridded mat. And on the other side is it's kind of, I don't know, I would say spongy, and it helps with stamping. So you get a real good stamped image. So I often forget to pull this out, but it does come in very handy. So I'll use it. There's a second stamp from that stamp set. And then I was like, well, I should, and I think I do a couple more stamps, but I'm like, maybe I have some Christmas stamps. Now, again, this isn't necessarily a Christmas layout, but I do have, the candy cane and the gingerbread people. So I do end up going into my stash, and I have a created close to my heart stamp set. It's called Magical Season D1226 from absolutely forever ago. And they're kind of like I would say a sketchy kind of an outline drawing. And those are going to work really good on that left-hand side. So here is just kind of like a stitching stamp, I think it is. And so I kind of filled in some of the spots with that. And then off that same stamp set, I will take, it's like a tiny little star with a circle around it. And that just gets used around on the bottom there. And then I think this is where I might take out the Christmas stamps, and I'm gonna, oh, yep, this is part of the Christmas stamps. And it's kind of like, oh no, I take it back. Sorry. Those are stars from the mixed media stamp set. So here is Santa, which I thought later, this isn't Christmas, it's after Christmas, but I'm not upset about it. It's darling. I'll use the Christmas tree, which works as well. And then I do believe I bring in there's a present that I'll bring in, and it's good for kind of like filling in the spaces. So I use that, and I bring that back in later. And here is a snowman, and that fits in there well too. And then I find a sled. So I'm going to this is going to be kind of not like you're going to see the sled, but you're going to see the mixed media of it. You know what I mean? It's like it's not going to be, it still fits with everything else, but you're not going to be able to tell it's a sled. So there's another present. And oh, there's a little bow. So I thought I'll use that to kind of fill in some of the spots. And then after I get that done in a couple different places, I will bring in, it's kind of like swirling wind, I would think of it as, and that's from that Close to My Heart set. And so I'll use that in a couple different places, kind of just to tie things together. And once I get those spread around, I will bring the present back in, and I'll use that to fill in just a little space. And I don't know if it's needed or not. Like if you bring it back, the photo in, can you even see it? Maybe not, but that's okay. So I'll use my ATG adhesive to get everything adhered down. And then Kathy had kind of put her picture over the embellishments, and my embellishments are going over the photo. You're not gonna lose anything of the photo. In fact, some of the mixed media gets covered up. That is totally okay. And then I did decide to bring, she's got ephemera kind of going all the way around the left there, but since I didn't really have more of anything, mine candy cane's gonna go in that left lower corner. And these are stickers. I didn't realize at first those are stickers, so I had peeled the backing off and laid them down. And I thought about that tag, but I didn't go with it's not like the same mood and feel. Those are close to my heart, stickers that are photo corners. So I'll use the last two of those on the corners of the photos. There was a little cork heart that was just stuck on the photo corner, so I stuck that next to the present down there. I'll get the photo corners onto two of the corners that you can see. Still trying to decide if I want to use that tag. But I do like this, it's a wood frame. So I'll kind of figure out, like I can use both halves of that, which I'm happy with. And I'm going to layer over love. And then I find this larger one, and this is from Hobby Lobby. It's Paper Studio, I believe. And so that's kind of I don't know if you'd call that a cluster base, but it's gonna be the spot where I can put those two smaller frames inside of it. And I thought this was backed at first, and it doesn't seem to be, so I do use my adhesive to get it adhered down. Make sure to check out everyone that is playing along with Woodgrain and Winter. And also, I will have Mixed Media Mayhem Facebook group listed below, and there is a playlist associated with that too. So you can see everybody else's take um, on Kathy's layout, as well as I have a feeling that Kathy will also have a take on her layout. So that'll be fun to see as well. I wasn't exactly sure where to put my title. I was gonna go in the middle. Kathy's got those two nice acrylic pieces that are quite big. So, but I did choose to go up in the right there where it's not overlapping much of anything. And then I do put some foam tape underneath to keep it popped up because it is on that frame. So thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you have a fabulous day. Please come back and see me again tomorrow when I will have a video for May I Scrap Lift You.